Family, y'all, we got to talk today. What's going on? I'm Walter. You're locked into Uncut Atlanta Sports. Man, I'm sorry if y'all hear some noise in the background. I got my dryer going over here trying to dry some clothes out. But, man, let me tell you something. I cannot believe what the Falcons are doing. I can't believe it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it, y'all. I really don't. And so we're gonna talk about it. So I had to go live a little bit early today. Let's let a couple of people get in here. I got a vent. So we got a lot of crazy decisions being made by this team already. Whether it be, I don't know if it's coming from Matt Ryan. I don't know if it's just coming from Stefanski, but I'm sure this is probably coming from the front office. The decisions that's being made. So we'll give it a couple of seconds. Be sure when you come in the building, be sure you hit that like button for me if you don't mind. But we got to talk about this, man. The Falcons not serious. They're not serious. I can't believe I allowed myself throughout this off season and everything to get myself so hyped up about this team. And also, if you're in the chat, let me know how the audio sounds. I know the audio, when I went back to listen to the last live stream, the audio was pretty bad. So I want to make sure the audio is good. That's one of the toughest things about doing this YouTube thing, and especially live streams, trying to make sure the audio is good and pleasant to listen to. But I can't believe it. I allowed this team to give me the mindset that we were serious about winning this year. And we get the news about this Friday, the final preseason game, that they cleared Michael Penix on last week, but he's not even going to play. Now, if you've listened to me, you know I'm not high on Michael Penix. The guy that I want to start is Jack Strand. Now, I get it that they're not probably going to start Jack Strand. It's going to be between Penix and Tua. Okay. I'm not thrilled about that, but okay. But why in the world would you not have Michael Penix taking, if you're leaning towards him being your starter, him or Tua? Why in the world would he not be playing in the last preseason of the game? And this is the first game that he's eligible to play since being cleared from injury. So you're telling me you're going to put Michael Penix out there the first game of the season, and you haven't seen him in any type of live game action? You haven't seen him in any live game action. D-Mac, what's going on, family? Appreciate you tuning in, D-Mac. Good afternoon to you, my brother. But you're telling me, you want to tell me that you're going to just throw that man out there in the first game of the season without having taken any type of snaps during the preseason? So this leads me to kind of sort of believe that they might be leaning towards starting Tua in the regular season, game 1. And I don't know why. You've had 2 quarterbacks to outplay Tua in the preseason. Shoot, not only Jack Strand, but heck, Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush has outplayed Tua. It's crazy. Hawk Talk TV, what's going on, family? Appreciate you tuning in, Hawk Talk TV. D-Mac says no matter which one of these 2 quarterbacks start, Bijan will see 8-man front on a regular basis. Yep, I agree. I agree. I definitely agree with that, D-Mac. But I'm trying to see, like, why in the world, like, what sense, who made that decision? And now they haven't released, you're not going to find any type of reporting on it. there were rumors out there about the Falcons being warned about tanking and all of that. And so when I went to do research on the topic, you don't really find any type of warnings that actually came down from the NFL. So they say it hasn't been anything made public that we can see. But I'm starting to believe the rumors. That's what I'm starting to believe. I'm starting to believe the rumors out there that this team is on purpose trying to get this quarterback position wrong. Now, could it be because they're trying to what they call it, tank for Arch or tank for some other quarterback in the draft next year? Because I really think that's where this team has their focus. I really think that they have their focus on drafting a quarterback next year in the offseason. That's where I have my that's where I think what they're doing. D-Mac says, Walt, and I like the guy, but if this head coach doesn't work out, this is on Matt. Yeah, I agree. I agree, D-Mac. I agree, fam. I agree. Hawk Talk TV says, I love getting to do this on the clock. I hear you, man. I hear you. I hear you, Hawk Talk, man. I'm getting ready to hit the clock here in a little bit, fam. So I tried to go live before I go hit the clock, man. So yeah, I'm glad I can entertain you on the clock while you're on the clock. But Javier, appreciate you checking in. Javier says, I'm starting to believe it too. Hey Delilah, how you doing, Delilah? I see you say tanking. I doubt it. I know you usually gonna disagree with me, Delilah, but shout out to you. This. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. Like, why is Michael Penix not playing? Why is this guy not playing? Now, if you're not going to start Jack Strand, I get it. You don't want, you want to bring him along slow. Okay, I understand it. But the next available guy, in my opinion, on the team, as far as talent-wise, even though I'm not high on Michael Penix, I think that he's the second best quarterback on the roster. So you're probably leaning towards starting him so I thought. So why would he not play in the preseason? Now, you don't have to play him the whole game. And see, this is what I was saying. They're still trying to play Cooper Rush. They're still trying to play Cooper Rush on Friday, tomorrow, instead of letting Jack Strand get those reps and then letting Michael Penix get the majority of the first team reps, since he's the guy that you're probably leaning towards starting. And so I just don't get it. It don't make any sense whatsoever what they're doing. Javier says, what business tanks puts on purpose? Yeah, man. Exactly. Delilah says, how is this any different than Jack Strand starting? Isn't that what you want? So it wouldn't be tanking, Delilah, if I said, I say it's tanking because they're not playing Michael Penix. They cleared Michael Penix, and the talk has been that Penix and Tua, that's the competition between who's going to be QB1. And obviously Tua has played like dog water. So Tua hasn't earned the starting job. So why would you be giving Tua the first team reps in the game tomorrow and sitting Penix, if those two guys are the two guys that's competing right now for the starting job? Tell me, Delilah, how is that not tanking? Tell me how is that making the right decision for the team when you're playing the guy that's been the worst of all the quarterbacks on the roster? Take Jack Strand out of the picture. Take him out of the picture. You got Tua and Michael Penix. Why in the world, if you're going to clear the man last week, is he not going to be on the field this week playing in the final preseason game? Tell me that, Delilah. Um, D-Mac says, I just wonder if Coach Stefanski and Reese have the ability to develop young quarterbacks. Yeah, that's the question, and I'm starting to doubt it. I'm starting to doubt it. I really am. I'm starting to doubt it, D-Mac, and that's been the whole problem with him. That's been the whole problem with him. You know, uh, in the past, developing young quarterback. That was the one of the issues that people had with hiring him, still having like a young quarterback. I guess technically a young quarterback in the league like Michael Penix, who is still a whole lot of undeveloped as well. So he's definitely living up to what the people were saying about him coming in, that he's not a good dude to develop young quarterbacks. And I was for Stefanski. I was for Stefanski and I was for Tua. I was for those guys because I thought that a change of scenery with those guys, coming from a trash organization like Cleveland and coming from the Dolphins, that a change of scenery coming here to Atlanta. Yeah, we've had our problems over the years, but I think that we still have had a better ran franchise than those two. So I thought that those guys would come in and turn a new leaf and or whatnot, and it can still happen. It's just we're not even into the regular season yet, so it still could happen. But just what we're seeing with the decision making and all of that, I just don't understand. I just don't understand some of the decisions that are being made. Now, me speaking from what they said before training camp started, the preseason and all that started, they said that the quarterback position was going to be won in the offseason, the OTAs, training camp, the preseason. They said that they were going to do their best to play the guy that wins the job. So that's why a lot of people like me, and a lot of people don't agree with people like me, what we say about Jack Strand, that he should start. And that's fine. We can have a difference in opinion, but still want the best for the team. So that's what people like me were saying, and saying that, okay, you guys said that whoever plays the best in training camp, whoever does the best in the preseason, OT, though, that's the guy that's going to be under center. And all I'm saying is Jack Strand can get in the season if you start him at QB1, and he can stink it up. He can be the worst quarterback ever to pick up a football. I'm not saying that that's impossible. He can be one of the worst dudes to ever touch a stinking football. But if we're going to go by what they said as far as the best player who wins the job in camp and then in the preseason, that guy that's played the best has been Jack Strand. So to the people out there like Delilah, who don't like that opinion, I really don't care. I don't care if they don't like it. That's the truth. That's not saying that he's going to get out there and lead us to a Super Bowl, lead us to a division win, or anything like that. That's just saying that from the body of work that we've seen throughout the training camp and in the preseason, he's looked the best. I don't care if he played against 2s and 3s. I don't give 2 cents. I don't care. I don't care. And Delilah says, sometimes your takes are vanilla without research. It's seemingly only in line with the negative crowd mob, the depth chart. Look, Delilah, you don't have to watch, Delilah. I'm sorry you feel that way, but you don't have to watch. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Go watch somebody else. If you don't like my takes, and I'm not trying to be mean, but if you don't like my takes, if you don't like what my opinion is, or what that, or my voice annoys you, or you can't stand the way I think about football and all of that stuff, It's plenty of other channels out there that'll go and blow smoke up your nose about the team. Go watch them. Go watch them. I'm not forcing you to watch my channel. Go watch something else. You know, why are you here? You're here talking, you're here being smug, not on all my live streams, but every so often you come on here being smug. Go watch something else. If you don't like what I say, if you don't like where I stand on our teams, go watch somebody else's Falcons channel. It's that simple. It's simple. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. D-Mac says the only time Stefanski did well in Cleveland, it was when he had veteran quarterbacks. Yep, when he had guys like Joe Flacco, that's when he had the most success. He had the most success when he has the veteran. But it takes a special kind of coach to kind of guide a young quarterback. Now, again, I still put a lot of it on the player, because even though these guys are young, you're still a professional. It's still up to you to go out there and perform. It's still up to you. So I'm gonna put a lot of it on the players too. But at the same time, he just hasn't had a good track record with young quarterbacks, and now it's starting to show. Delilah says, I think they do. Jack Strand didn't start the camp off great. 7 QB staff plus Matt Ryan versus 0 from last year. Okay. I said I'm just ready to see what Tua does, since he will start the next game. Preseason isn't over. Nothing can simulate live bullets regardless. I agree. I've moved. See, what a lot of people, I personally moved past Tua. I've moved past, I should say, believing that Jack Strand is going to start. I've moved past that. I've moved past that. That's not even in my mind. Right now, I'm focused on Tua and Michael Penix. I wanted to see those two, since with the last depth chart came out. Since they cleared Penix going back to last week. I wanted to see Penix and Tua go head to head in this last preseason. And this is what this live stream is about. That's why I'm saying, are they really trying to win? You know that it's going to be between those two guys. You know that Michael Penix hasn't played in a live game since he got hurt last year. And it will be incredibly unfair. I don't care how confident you are in Michael Penix. It will be incredibly unfair to Michael Penix to throw him out there. Let's say he doesn't even start the first game of the preseason. Of the season. Let's just say he goes. Let's say they're just gonna say, look, we're gonna bring him along slow. We're gonna get him in week 3. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. I'm just throwing that out here. If you're gonna put Michael, if you're gonna do it like that, you're doing a disservice to that young man again, just like what the previous regime did to him by stunning his growth when he first got drafted, not letting him get action in the preseason. And I think that caused a lot of the trouble with Michael Penix that he had when the season started and when he actually came in. Now, he came in and played a great game against Washington, looked great. But as time went on, some of his shortcomings showed his head, and I think a lot of it could have been taken care of had he played in preseason. So again, I think that this is more of a disservice to Michael Penix. You should have that young man out there playing. He should be playing on Friday. Now, again, I want to see what Tua is going to do. This is Tua's last chance to prove what he can do. This is his last chance to prove what he can do and show that the first game that he played was just a fluke. What he's been doing in training camp and what he did in those joint practices, it was just a fluke. And that he's really serious about helping this team win. And that's all I want. I just want to win. I want, if it's Tua starting, I want Tua to get in, ball, and not make these mistakes that he's been making, to look like he's confident, not like he's playing scared. I want to see him play like that tomorrow. That's what I want to see. That's what I got to see that from Tua. I wanted to see that from Michael Penix. I wanted to see it from Michael Penix more than anything. Because they're really, every week it's like a seesaw thing with the quarter. One week, you're kind of, I think when Michael Penix got cleared, my mindset was like, okay, Penix is going to start. So I kind of started shifting the way that I was thinking, like, man, okay, I'm not a Penix guy. I'm not high on Penix. But, man, I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm excited to see if he's learned anything that can translate over into live game action. Because I've seen him making the throws in training camp, some of the throws. I see the guys are still raving about him, his teammates. So I want to see him in game action. I want to see him in a game action. And if you're not going to give Penix, and I'm going to jump on Penix's side here. I'm going to jump on Michael Penix's side. Because if you're going to be honest about putting the bet, and this is where the whole thing come in, is like, are they trying to win? Because if I'm Penix, I'm like, okay, I'm cleared. Why are y'all not play? Why am I not going to play in this preseason game? Just a little, a quarter, a quarter. Why am I not going to play a quarter so that I can show just how far I've come, so that I can show that I am the future of this team, that I can be the future of this team, and that the fans can go into the regular season knowing that I'm ready to lead this team. You're not even giving that man a chance. You're not even giving him a chance. Tua Hawk Talk says he won't play because Penix is letting Tua fall on his face. Probably so, man. Delilah says, I like watching though, it's entertaining. I mean, Delilah, I'm not trying to be mean. Only thing I'm saying is we just have a difference in opinion. That's all. You and I just have a difference in opinion about the team. That's on this, and I've said it for the longest on this channel. If it's nothing but negative to talk about the team, then that's what we're going to talk about. I mean, I can't talk about. I want to talk. I mean, what else? I mean, right now it's the biggest question mark in the NFL right now. The Falcons quarterback position, and it's nothing positive to talk about it right now, outside of the bright spot of Jack Strand being like an undrafted free agent and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's like the only bright spot, but like there's nothing positive. I don't want to be just talking about the negative stuff. But that's what it is. That's what we're dealing with now with this quarterback thing. So, and hopefully after tomorrow, hopefully all of it is cleared up. Hopefully, we have a clear-cut number one dude after the game on Friday and leading up into the regular season. I hope so that we can get on here and actually talk about the good stuff. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I'm not trying to appeal to the negative side of the Falcon fandom or the positive part of the Falcon fandom. I'm in the middle. I can go either way. I go whichever way the team sends me. Whatever way the team send me as far as how they play and the things that they're doing, that's the way that I'm going to go. When it's going in the positive direction, that's the content that you're going to get. But when the team is going over to the negative, that's what you're going to get. I'm not going to be one of the people that's, when, you're looking at a alligator and you're looking at it saying, oh man, look at that. Look at that elephant. No, it's a stinking alligator. Ain't no elephant. It's a darn alligator. So that's this channel right here. And it's not for everybody. I get it. I go through the same thing with Atlanta Braves fans. I can't, my fellow Atlanta Braves fans are some of the most frustrating fans out there, because most of them always want positivity when it's not a lot of positivity at times to talk about that team. Although they did beat they have won the series against the Dodgers, so that's pretty good though. That's pretty good. Delilah says you're not considering the variables, and it's more that what we've all seen. That's all I'm saying. I feel I get it. I get it. But here's my problem. Here is my only problem with how they've handled this whole quarterback situation here with our team. They should have just, if they would have said before all of this started, when they signed Tua, if they would have came out and said, okay, look, this competition is a 2-horse race. Even though Michael Penix isn't cleared, it's his job to look. It's his job. It's him battling Tua for the job throughout training camp, preseason. Even though he's not cleared, we're gonna take the best of those two. But then you took a guy like Jack Strand and you threw him in there, and heck, you even threw Cooper. You even signed Cooper Rush. You brought Cooper Rush in. I know that was because of the injury that they had to the other dude that they had at quarterback that they released. But you brought in Jack Strand and Cooper Rush, and you allowed these guys to play. And you said that you didn't say that this competition was between just Penix and Tua. You said, man, this is an open competition. You said the guys that's going to play is the guy that wins the job, the guy that performs better. So yes, I understand that it's stuff that we don't know that might be happening internally that they don't tell us. So I'm not speaking about that. So that's the thing that could make me wrong, because I don't have insider information on the stuff that they don't the stuff that we don't see. I just have to go by what I see and what they've said. They said that the job was going to be given to the best dude. And my whole thing is the best dude, the best dude, man. I'm sorry, y'all. Some of y'all don't like it. Y'all don't like it. But the best dude has been Jack Strand. He's been the best. I would have loved to have seen Penix healthy throughout the entirety of training camp and all of that, and preseason, and we can see those guys going head to head. But we unfortunately we didn't see that. We didn't have that. And so again, I'm not putting Jack Strand aside. Let me just put that aside. Let me just put Jack Strand aside though, man. I want to see what we gon' I really want to see improvement with Tua. I want to see improvement with Tua. I know I'm not gonna get what I want in Jack Strand, and that's okay. But if Tua and Michael, if Tua is what they're leaning towards as week 1 starter, man, I need to see Tua play like he got a set of balls between his legs. I need to see him playing like a dog. I don't want to see this scared, timid dude that's afraid to get hurt. Now, I get it. I understand his history, but I don't want to see that. This is your team. If your start is your team, is your offense. I want to see him playing with confidence on tomorrow. I want to see him moving the football. I want to see him I want to see him really using Kyle Pitts to his ability, because that's what I was really high on Tua when we first signed him. I was like, this dude is going to really, really showcase Kyle Pitts. Just from the way that he's played over his career, he's like a picture-perfect quarterback for Kyle Pitts. And I wanted to see that so bad. And I still want to see that. If he's going to be our number one quarterback, I want to see him using Kyle Pitts. I want to see it because I think that their game matches very well when they're on. Hawk Talk TV says Penix knows the investment they made in him, so he can take his time. Yeah, that could be true, and I think that, again, I think that that's what they're doing. I think, and then you have to monitor. You really got to be careful with Penix too as well, because of the injuries. You got to be very careful with him with the injuries, and whether you like Penix or not, they did draft him number 8 in the first round. So regardless if Matt Ryan and Stefanski and Ian Cunningham were responsible for drafting him or not, as a team, the guy that gets the final say is Arthur Blank. And I'm sure Arthur Blank has probably said behind closed doors that, hey, y'all might not like Penix, but he's gonna be here until we're sure that he's not the dude. So Penix is gonna get he's gonna get his shot. He's going to get his shot. But I just think that you're not doing that, young man. It's not fair to him. It's not fair to him. Because I'm sure, I'm 100% sure with Michael Penix being a competitor, and he's a competitor. You can go back and look at his college days, going back to Indiana, when he battled all the injuries and everything and battled back from it and went to Washington and all of that stuff. Just his mindset, his competitiveness. He didn't go in there and say, look, I'm cleared, but don't play me on Friday. He didn't say that. He didn't go and walk into Matt Ryan's office and on Friday, on one day this past week, and say, hey, look, y'all, check this out. I know I'm cleared, but hey, I'm not. Hey, check this out. I'm just gonna wear my do-rag on the sideline. I'm just gonna be in my do-rag and sweats on Friday. He didn't do that. That man wanted to play. A ball player wants to play. And I'm sure they probably told him, no, look, man, we're gonna bring you along slowly. And I think that's a mistake, though, because we don't have time. He's being cleared late in the offseason. And, you got to see what he can do. You had to see what he can do, especially on tomorrow in the preseason game. You had to see what he can do. And I think it's just not fair. It's not fair on the behalf of Michael Penix for them to keep doing him the way that they are doing him. Now, again, I want to be clear. I want to be 100% clear. I think that the Falcons starting quarterback is Jack Strand. That's my starting. If I owned the team, if I was Arthur Blank, and if I wasn't broke like I am, if I wasn't a broke man, and if I had billions of dollars and I owned the Atlanta Falcons, and I had the final say over everything, I would go pull Ian Cunningham, Matt Ryan. I'll fly them on the helicopter and land them on the heliport of my yacht and tell them, hey, look, I don't care what y'all feel. Jack Strand playing. He started. But I don't have billions of dollars and I don't own the Atlanta Falcons. So what I say really don't matter. But that's what Walter would do. But going with what they're doing, you gotta play. You gotta play Michael Penix tomorrow. You gotta play him. You got to play him. And I think I saw a clip of Dan Orlowski on ESPN. I didn't watch the whole thing, But I just saw a headline of him just saying that he don't understand why the Falcons. He don't understand why the Falcons are not playing Penix on Friday in the last preseason game. He was like, he was like, he was just like baffled. Anybody who's on the outside looking in, like all of us are as fans. Look, we're fans, but we're still on the outside of looking in. Look on the outside looking in. Not me. I don't have insider information. I'm just a big mouth dude on YouTube. That's all I am. I'm just a big mouth Falcon fan truck driver. That's all I am. That's it. I don't have insider information. But just when I'm just peeping over the fence, when I'm standing on my tiptoes, grabbing up, trying to look up over the fence, I'm looking like, dude, what are y'all doing? Like, what are you doing, man? And so I just think that I don't want this year to be wasted. Hawk Talk says if it's wide open, Captain Jack should be our QB1. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand, Hawk Talk. It's not about saying that Jack Strand he might come in and play the first 2 games of the season, start the first 2 games of the season and suck, and then you got to go to your second guy. So I'm not somehow saying that Jack Strand is the second coming of Joe Montana or Tom Brady. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if we're going to go by what we're told, that the guy that wins the job in the offseason and in training camp and the preseason, all of that, that's the guy that was going to play. That's why they brought in a bunch of guys to compete. And if we use the body of work that we've seen in the offseason, OTAs, it don't matter if it was 1 or 2s, but whoever looked the best plays. That's what they told us. And that's what I'm going by. I'm going by who played the best, and that was Jack Strand. And if he get in the game and he sucks, hey, he might suck. But don't tell, it's like, it's like you got the engine, a V8. You got a V8 engine competing against you got a Toyota Corolla engine competing against the diesel engine in the preseason, and then you game 1 of the season you say that the Corolla engine is gonna be the one you run with. Well, it didn't outperform So that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But I'm past the whole Jack Strand thing. I know that he's not going to start. I know that. So I'm not even on that. No, what I'm talking about is, why is Michael Penix not playing on tomorrow? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. Why is Michael Penix, our 2 top guys, you just cleared him, why is he not playing in the preseason? I'm not the only one saying it. You got some of the guys that the professional guys that some of you like to listen to, your favorite podcast and on ESPN and all of that stuff, they're asking the same questions. Why is Michael Penix, if he's cleared and healthy, not playing? And that's what I'm saying. Is this team trying to win? Are they tanking? What? It was rumors out there. Now, the NFL said that, no, we haven't warned the Falcons about tanking or anything like that. So, again, I'm not saying, but this is the kind of stuff that makes rumors seem true. That's the kind of thing that makes rumors seem true. Because we really need to see Michael Penix. We need to see Penix out there on Friday. I want to see Michael Penix. Believe it or not, I'm actually excited to see him. I'm happy that the young man is healthy because I like Michael Penix. Michael Penix is a good dude. It's hard not to want the best for a dude that's as humble and well-spoken, a young man too at that. A young man that's as humble and well-spoken as Penix. It's hard not to want him to have success. So I was excited to see him get back on the field, get back out there doing what he loves to do. And then it's kind of like you get a dagger to your heart. No, he's not playing. Why? We've already seen Tua start. Let's see what Penix has. And I get it. That you I don't know. I don't know, guys. JQ762, what's going on, fam? Appreciate you checking in. Hawk Talk TV says you are exactly right. JQ says, remember, we're seeing him against vanilla defenses made up of second and third string guys who may not even make their respective squads. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I 100% agree. But again, we got to go by who looked the best. We got to go by who looked the best. Who looked the best when they played the first teams, and whichever quarterback looked the best, no matter if they were playing first team, second, or third team. They brought these guys in to compete for an open competition. And if we go by the body of work, if we go by the whole body of work, the guy that's outperformed all the quarterbacks on the roster is Jack Strand. That's all I'm saying. He can get in the season and suck. Or he can get in the season and lead you to a Super Bowl and win you a Super Bowl. You don't know. But if you be honest, he's been the best guy. He's been the best quarterback on the roster in the preseason and in the offseason. That's just the truth. Regardless of whether or not he was playing against ones, twos, or threes, it is what I would probably say. I would probably say it's more of a benefit in the preseason to play against twos and threes, especially when you play against the twos. You know why? Because those guys are out there playing hard. You know, the defense that Jack Strand was facing, those guys were playing hard. Those guys trying to make the roster. They're trying to make other teams. So I would make the argument that you got more of an effort and more competition that was happening with the second squads because those guys were actually trying to make teams. So they were playing hard. First string guys out there going through the motions. They're out there going through the motions. They're just trying to, get the legs up under them. They're not going fully at 100% speed or whatever. They just out. They really don't want to get hurt. But you got those second string guys and third string guys. Those guys running like running into brick walls and stuff. So that's one of the arguments I make against discounting what somebody does against a second and a third team, especially in the preseason. Because in a lot of times you're getting more effort from those second and third teams. You're getting more pressure and more conflict coming towards you when you're playing against those guys in the preseason. So that's another argument to be made for Jack Strand. That's just my opinion. Marquez, what's going on, family? Marquez said, what's up, brother? Ain't no way Penix is starting against Pittsburgh. His first game back since he got hurt. His first game back since he got hurt is against Pitt's pass rush, and that's crazy. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Maybe, and maybe that's what the team is looking at. But maybe that's what they're looking at. I don't know. Again, we're not privy. I'm not. Some of you guys might be privy to inside information about what the team is thinking and all that, but not me. But that can make sense. You know, you're looking at that pass rush that Pittsburgh have. Maybe they know that they don't want to bring Penix back with, you know, TJ Watt coming at him. So maybe they want to bring him along in the second game. Maybe they want to, you know, have a few weeks, a handful of weeks with him practicing with the ones constantly before they throw him out there. Maybe the second game. Hey, we don't know. I'm just guessing. But that could be true. They could be looking out for his health in that Pittsburgh game, that first game of the season. So that can be true. JQ says 2s and 3s may give more effort, but also make way more mistakes that you can take advantage of. Work both ways. Yep, you're right. You're right, JQ. I feel you. You're not wrong, brother. That's exactly right. You right, man. Michael, what's going on, family? Appreciate you tuning in, Michael McCurry. I think it's Michael Lee McCurry. Appreciate you. He says, being honest, he could lead the team to win the NFC South, and that is saying a lot. Exactly, man. We don't know. Jack Strand can do that, or he might not do it. Michael Penix could. You just don't know, man. You just don't know. We really don't know. Delilah says Jack is going to play tomorrow as well. Yeah, he is. But I would probably prefer him starting the game tomorrow over Tua. I would prefer him starting the game over Tua. Let him get some run in the preseason with the ones. Let him get some run. Let's see what he does. Since the biggest pushback that people that, you know, anti-Jack Strand people have is that we haven't seen him play with ones. So I would definitely like to see him get some run with the ones on tomorrow. But I don't even think he's going to get the run with the ones. I think they got him listed as on the depth chart as number 3 tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, unless they done changed it. It seemed like they changed the pecking order every 2 minutes. But if it's when I last saw it yesterday, Jack Strand he's the 3rd quarterback behind Cooper Rush. So yeah, he's gonna get to play, but we still not gonna see him with the ones, and I think that's a little bit maddening too as well. Marquez said Tua has to start that first game. It would be dumb to put him out there against Watt and that Pittsburgh pass rush. Preseason is the closest thing you can get to a real game. Yeah, man, I agree, Marquez. I definitely agree, man. If you're not going to start, and they're not going to start Jack Strand, but if you're going to start, if that's their thinking, if that's the way that the front office is thinking, if they're saying, look, we're not going to put Michael Penix in harm's way, because we know what MPJ, we know what his injury struggles, and we know that that's a lethal pass rush with Pittsburgh. That offense is in question, but not that defense. And so if they have that mindset, the reason why Penix is why they're trying to get Tua ready for game 1, then I can understand that. I can understand that, and I would actually agree with that. I would actually agree with that. But I also it still doesn't make sense though that Penix don't play at all on tomorrow to kind of knock some of that rust off. You know, just to knock a little bit of the rust off. Even if he's not the plant starter for that first game, just give the man a little opportunity to get some live action with some hearing those pads and stuff in a game situation. Let's hear that, man. Let's hear that. So I think it's really still unfair to Michael Penix, in my opinion. Hawk Talk TV says accuracy, velocity, timing, ball placement, pocket presence, prototype size doesn't matter what string you're playing against. I agree. I agree, Hawk Talk. I 100% agree, fam. JQ says I agree with that. I'd like to see Strand early in the game. Yeah, man. I would, and you wouldn't even be doing that to say that he's gonna be the starter in game 1 of the season. You just let people get a glimpse of what he can do when playing with starting quality players. That's all. Let him get a couple of series under his belt in game and at game speed with those number ones. And let's see if all the hype is really valid from how we feel about him, because I feel that the hype is valid around Jack Strand. I believe that he's shown that he can play. But I really would love to see him ran every series. Everyone is doing their job. That's what good QBing does, is get everyone to do their job. Yeah, you're right, Hawk Talk, and that's why I was so upset with Tua. That's why I was so upset with Tua in that first preseason game, how he came out and played, because I was pumped up. If y'all have been watching this channel long enough, when I was doing videos more than I was doing live streams, y'all just don't those of you who've been around know that I started this channel 2.5 months ago, something like that. And Tua, I was so excited about Tua. I was just so excited when we got a lot of people saying, "No, man, Tua suck. Tua suck." I was like, man, he gonna come here and resurrect his career. I think he got good arm. He can work on his accuracy just a little bit. And then I'm like, man, look what he did to us last year. Came into the bins and blew us out, and all of that. I went to some games, but I was at that game too when he beat the brakes off of us. And so I was just really high on Tua, that he was gonna be a difference maker. And after what I've seen, I'm so upset with him. And something what you just said, Hawk Talk TV, it's like he didn't have any type of commanding demeanor. He didn't have he didn't run the series well. He looked shook. He looked like, even in just the preseason game, it looked like the moment was too big for him out of all the football that he's played. So that's the thing that we saw with Jack Strand. We saw composure. We saw somebody able to command the offense. We saw confidence. And so, yeah, again, I wanted to see Tua. I really want to see Tua do better. JQ says Hawk Talk, it matters when the rush gets to you twice as fast. We'll see. We'll see, JQ. We'll see, man. But I think that he's still shown the ability with his footwork. Even when he get in trouble, I think he still has a more escapability than the guys that we have on the rock. You take one of the things about Michael Penix is what I want, and definitely why I want to see him play on tomorrow, is I want to see if he actually improved reading blitzes. I want to see if he could improve commanding the offense, meaning, yeah, you were given the play, but when you come up to the line and you see blitzes coming from the right side, and you know that you got your running play going to the right side, change the play. Call out your mics. Change, communicate with your offensive line. Change the play. Audibles. Change it up. So I want to see him be able to handle blitzes well, and to also be able to get to escape more. And I think that whether Jack Strand plays with ones, twos, or threes, that's one thing I think he can do. If the pressure comes on him fast, I think he got the legs to take off and get you, five to maybe somewhere 5 to 10 yards, maybe. So again, we'll see, man. We don't know. We just spitballing. We just spitballing, man. That's all we're doing. Jakey said, "Don't get me wrong. I like what I've seen with Strand. I'm just believing the actual coaching staff that sees him and his execution daily." Yeah, exactly. So, and I actually agree with that, JQ. I actually agree with that, and I like how you put that, and I think that goes back to what I was saying earlier, is that we don't have, unfortunately, not on this channel, I don't have access to the Falcons locker room, or I don't have access to Matt Ryan. I don't have access to Ian Cunningham and Kevin Stefanski, and I ain't got access to Arthur Blank. So if they know something that's happening internally that we haven't seen, if they know that they know, no matter what we've seen from Jack Strand, if they know that young man, based on something behind closed doors, something that we haven't seen, something maybe between his ears, I don't know. But if they know that and they know that he's not ready, okay, I can accept that. But on the outside looking in, the only thing we can do is go by what our eyes tell us, what they allow us to see, what we see on the field, what we see in practice, what they allow us to see. So that's the way that we have to approach it. But again, they know. They might know something we don't know. And so I got to give them the benefit of the doubt in that manner. So it's not me just I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt with that. But I'm just, with what I've seen with my eyes, I've seen our starting quarterback. I've seen him in Jack Strand. That's just my opinion. I'm sorry. Now, if I would have seen Michael Penix go out there tomorrow, throw for almost 300, 280, go 12 for 20 or something like that. I don't know. Maybe a touchdown or so. I would have been, man, I'm ready. Let's go, Penix. Let's go. Let's go. I don't hate Michael Penix. I don't hate Michael Penix. I don't. If I had to choose, if you take Jack Strand out of the picture, and I had to choose between Tua and Penix right now, even though we haven't seen Penix in the preseason, I will still choose Penix, because we've seen Tua has just been horrible. Just been absolutely atrocious. So yeah, man, we all about whoever gonna give us a chance to win. And if that's Penix, man, let's go. Let's go, Penix. If that's Tua, man, let's go. Show us something tomorrow, Tua. Show us something, man. Show us some improvement. I want to see some improvement. I want to see you go out there and look like you got confidence, man. I need to see tomorrow. Don't know how long Tua is going to play. Don't know how many series is going to play. If it's going to play a quarter, 2 quarter, whatever. I don't know. But we need to see at least 200 plus passing yards from Tua on tomorrow. When I go live tomorrow night and we talk about what happened in the game tomorrow night, I want to be able to talk and brag about how great Tua looked, and how great Cooper Rush looked, and how great Jack Strand looked, how great Goodson looked, how great Bijan looked, Cash Jones looked, how great Kyle Pitts looked. And all of that is going to start with Tua. It's going to start with him. That's what I want to talk about. And I also want to see a better effort from our starters on defense too, because they looked bad in that first preseason game too. Outside of James Pierce Jr., James Pierce Jr. played great, and another couple of guys too. But we gotta see more. I want to be able to get on here and do a straight up just bragging on these guys tomorrow night. But I don't want to get on here tomorrow night and have to be sitting here looking at Tua's stats with him 8 for 19 for 96 yards and a fumble or an interception. I don't want to see that. Because if you really think I'm negative now, Delilah, I'm gonna be very negative if Tua pull that same stunt on tomorrow. Hawk Talk, okay, he's talking. DK, what's going on, fam? Appreciate you, man. What's up, man? Good to see you, brother, today. First time I've seen you in the chat, man. Appreciate you tuning in, DK. He says, I want Tua to play first quarter to see if he is washed out. Me too, man. That's what I want to see, man. Since Penix is not going to play, I really would like to see Tua play. I'm going to go a stretch farther, DK. I need to see Tua play because it's shaping up that Tua is going to be game one starter up in Pittsburgh. That's what it's shaping up to be. And so I really want to see Tua for a whole quarter. I'm sorry, for a half, the first half. Even if you take all the other starters out, Tua needs to play the whole first half. Because that's just how bad he has looked in that first preseason game. That's how bad he looked in those joint practices up in Indianapolis. That's just how bad he's looked. And so I think that Tua really needs to play the whole he might need to play the whole Tua might need to play the whole game. Yeah, man. Let's see. Hawk Talk says, I agree, but that's exactly where pocket present matter and prototype. Yep. Hawk Talk says officially off the clock for the day in the air. Hey, I hear you, Hawk Talk, man. You free, man. You free, brother. Man, don't see you making me kind of jealous though, Hawk Talk, man, because I'm getting ready to head to work, man. While y'all at in the bed all nestled in and snoring at night, I'm out there trucking, so so don't rub it in, man. You rubbing it in, you're making me feel bad, Hawk Talk. Oh man. JQ says Tua really looked and sounds like he's just happy to be here. I see no type of leadership or hunger in the interviews. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's that first game. You can just see it, man. He was timid. It was like he was scared. It was like he was just, it was like he was. It was just something about Tua. In that first game, he was scared. It was like he was scared to get. And here's the thing, man. I get it. I get it, Tua. I get that young man has been through a lot. I get that the injuries and everything could be a little bit with the type of injuries that he's had with all of that. With all of the concussions and stuff. I get it, man. And that's why I said, man, dude, I would have retired. I would have retired, man. I'm sorry. I said it before, man. When he was on that field like this, when he was up on that field and that dude was like this and stuff, man, dude, that scared the crap out of me. That scared the crap out of me. I didn't know that was a concussion. I didn't know that was a concussion, man. But I'm like, dude, but come with the amount, I wouldn't even be playing. And you can tell it's in his mind now. He's afraid to get hit. He's afraid to get hit. He's not even looking downfield. When he's dropping back, he's too busy looking. And you got to be able to multitask as a quarterback. You got to be able to keep your eye on the blitz. You got to be watching your sides. And you got to be keeping your eyes downfield. And I think he's paying more attention to to the blitzes and stuff. He's worried about getting hit. And to the point to where he's not even looking really through his reads. And I don't blame him. Shoot, man, if you was on the field like this with your hands and stuff, man, I don't blame him. That's why I said he should have retired. But, yeah, man, I don't know. Hog talk, you silly, man. Throw you. He said throw you. Man, that would Hog talk. I think I did that a while ago, man. But y'all know, y'all was watching that game. It was a nationally televised game that night. Man, that dude hands was like this and stuff. Man, I didn't know. I was like, dude, that was, man, that's it, man. Whew. So yeah, man, that dude, I think he just need to go enjoy his family and stuff, man, and just chill. DK says, I agree. Miami knows Tua so good. Challenge for him before we send him to play the Steelers. Yep, I agree, DK. Michael says, look at the bright side. Atlanta is definitely better than those Saints. Atlanta won't finish in last place. No, man, the Saints are terrible. The Saints are extra bad. We just got to figure out this core. I think that we have and that's the frustrating part. That's why I'm really pounding on this quarterback topic, man, because, man, I think that this team can win now. I do. I know a lot of people are saying that, hey, this is a gap year for the Falcons and that, they're really just building for the future and all of that stuff. And also, there's a lot of speculations around Jesse Bates, whether you trade him or not. So I get it. But in my opinion, I think with the skilled players that we have on that offensive side of the ball, and although we took a big hit with James Pierce Jr. as well as Jalen Walker, I think we still can manage with the defense. I just think that we got a team that can win. But it's gonna take we definitely should be in the mix if we play the way that we are capable of playing. And if we get this quarterback position right, which I'm doubting whether or not they're going to get the quarterback position right. But let's just say if we can get competent quarterback play, I think that we can win. I think that we can win, man. But if we don't get good, I don't think we can win with Tua. I don't think we can win with Tua, though. I think that the season is kind of on Michael Penix's shoulders, and possibly maybe on Jack Strand's shoulder down the road if Penix gets benched or something like that. I don't know, but it's gonna depend. Hopefully it calm down. Hopefully we got. They're not gonna start Strand, but I'm hoping that in that case that Tua is not the starter. I hope that Penix is the starter. I hope that they just trying to get him past that Pittsburgh game, and then after that Pittsburgh game we get Penix, and we go about it that way. And then if we suck, we suck. We know we'll be drafting a quarterback next year, and I don't put that past the Falcons. I don't put it past us to be in the quarterback draft next year. I don't put it past us to be drafting a quarterback next year. It can happen. It most definitely can happen. And it's gonna be dependent on what we see out of Penix this year, and what we don't see out of Jack Strand, because Jack Strand is probably gonna be third string. But yeah, shout out to all you guys that's watching. If y'all do me a favor, please hit me. I I usually don't say it. I try not to say it because I know people don't like people to be begging them for likes. But hey, just hit that like button for me if you don't mind, please. If you haven't already, I appreciate it. God bless y'all. Michael says, okay, I already read that. Delilah says Tua turned the ball over. I feel you on that one. I feel you. I definitely feel you. I feel you on that, Delilah. I agree with you, man. Tua them broke my heart, man. he broke my heart, man. I was so I was a Tua guy. Not because I was a Tua guy when he was on Miami, but just looking at how it ended in Miami and everything, and just him coming to Atlanta, man, I was just like, yeah, it's gonna be a good change of scenery for it. He's gonna come here. I was like, man, he's gonna come here and ball out. He's gonna ball out in the preseason, training camp. He's gonna get the starting job because I thought for sure that he was gonna get. I wasn't thinking nothing about no Jack Strand or nothing like that. I was thinking about Penix and Tua, and I was like, he definitely gonna win over Penix. But I'm like, nah. Now after no, man, Tua, he just ain't it, man. He just not it, and it's sad. It's sad, but then again, if Tua is our guy, I'm gonna be right there. I'm gonna be right, man. Look, I'm gonna be at the Benz. I'm gonna be at the Benz rooting for my guy. I'm gonna be in the Benz rooting for him. I'm gonna be there rooting and cheering for him and all of that and stuff and on here when he do well, I'm gonna be on this podcast pumping him up. I'm gonna be doing all of that. I'm gonna be doing it, man. So I want the best for the team. And if Tua is the guy, man, come on, let's go. I want him to ball. Come on, show us something on tomorrow. Again, I don't want to have to go live tomorrow night. And again, guys, I will be live. I'll be live on tomorrow night. Probably, I don't know, probably about 10 something. I'm guessing because that's probably what time I'm going to be home. But probably around 10 something tomorrow night. So make sure you hit the notification bell so that you know that I am live. But I'm going to be giving a breakdown of the game and everything, what we saw. And and tomorrow I'm just going to give you a heads up again, guys, because some people don't like just talking about the quarterback. They say, hey, it's more things happening with the team that we need to talk about. And I agree. But right now the quarterback is the most important. So that's where we're going to laser our focus in on the quarterback play tomorrow, because that's the big on the defensive side of the ball. On the offensive side of the ball, that's the biggest question. That's the biggest question. I mean, I don't have no questions about Drake London. You throw him the football, he gonna catch it. If you throw it to him, and even if he's not all the way open, he gonna go up over somebody and catch it. So I'm not worried about Drake. I'm not worried about Drake London. I'm not worried about Bijan Robinson. The only thing I want to see Bijan Robinson do. Now, I will say this with Bijan, and some of you have heard me say this before. I want to say this about Bijan. As great as Bijan Robinson is, I want Bijan Robinson to do better this year taking care of the football. And some of you have heard me say that. I want him to take better care of the football because he had a few costly fumbles last year too as well, if you think back to it. So I want him to definitely work on ball security, and I think that he has, because I think he said that actually in a interview that he had to be better taking care of the football. So I think that he worked on that. So I'm not really concerned about that this year. But I'm hoping that I never see it. I hope not never, but I'm hoping that he is actually better at protecting the football. But I'm not worried about those skill player positions. So it's not nothing to talk about right now with those guys. But it's like Giselle said about Tom Brady, that say he can't throw and catch the football. So, I mean, those guys can't throw it and catch it, run down the field and catch it too. So we got to have somebody to throw it to him. We got to have somebody to get the ball into the hands of all these weapons that we have. So that's what we're going to be laser focused on tomorrow night. We're going to go in. We're going to go in on what we see from the quarterback position. And I would have loved to I was looking forward to doing the live stream on tomorrow to talk about how Penix looked, talk about the improvements and stuff that Penix has made. But we're not going to see that because Penix not going to play. But we're going to dive into Tua since he's going to be out there with the one. So we're going to dive into it, y'all. So stay tuned for that. Hawk Talk says, if so, it will be second and third round. Yep, I agree. Appreciate that, Hawk Talk. And Kurt, Hawk Talk says, hit that like button, y'all. Listen to Hawk Talk. JQ says, hopefully Tua looks more comfortable with Jawan Taylor back at tackle. Yeah, that's a good analysis right there. Now I will say this about that first game in the preseason that Tua played. Now I know not all the starters played. Jawan Taylor, he didn't play, but there were a few starters that played. I will say that the line has to be better too because the line didn't do a great job at protecting Tua in that first game. He was constantly under pressure. The few dropbacks that he had, so the offensive line got to be better. The offensive line got to be better too. So it's a lot of things that especially that offensive line, because it don't matter who we got back there. But then again, this is why it's important to have a quarterback with some escapability, with being able to escape, I should say. I'm trying to use big words. Shut up, Walter, and use simple words. You know you can't talk. So he you want somebody that can get away when the pressure come at him. And so in my opinion, it ain't gonna that's why it'll make a lot. That's why Jack Strand make a lot of sense. He can get away from the pressure easier than Tua and Penix. Because these defenses, man, especially these defensive linemen nowadays, everybody is so freak athletes on the defensive line. So it's becoming harder and harder every year for these offensive linemen to keep these defensive linemen and these defensive ends and linebackers away from the quarterback. Teams are struggling to do that, man, because these dudes on the defensive line now are just freaks now. They so athletic and fast and crafty and stuff. So you definitely gonna end up in a situation where you definitely want a quarterback that has that ability to get away. JQ says, hope Tua does ball out so we can get some kind of trade value for him because I don't want. JQ. Oh man, I'm sorry, Jay. That got me right there, brother. I'm sorry, man. That got me. Oh boy, that's funny. That's funny right there. Hey man, I was big on Tua, man, but yeah, I'm kind of all that excitement gone now from Tua, man. So he just Tua got his shot with me, and he kind of he kind of fell flat on his face with his shot that he had with me. So I'm over Tua too, man. Delilah said, or kick field goals or play special teams. Those losses weren't all on Penix last year, but I get it. I agree. I agree. Special teams lost us like two I know like 2 games for sure. It might be 3 games. Let me stop lying. I'll have to look that up, but I want to say 2 games. 2, maybe 3 games that special teams lost with stupid penalties, missing field goals, all of that. So yeah, you're right, Delilah. I agree. They're not everything was not on Penix. Everything was not on Penix. When the losses happened, everything was not on Penix. Now, if y'all go back and watch, I've been, that's why I said people might think that I'm like an anti-Penix dude. I'm not. I'm not anti-Penix. I'm not. I'm going by the body of work that we saw the first season that he played and his second year when he got injured. That's what I'm going by. But by no stretch of the imagination, Penix, all of the craziness and the losses that we had in these last 2 seasons, all of that lies at the feet of Penix. Anybody saying that is a liar. Anybody blaming Penix for this team sucking the last couple of years, they are liars. Because this team had some dumb, stupid coaching. It had dumb. We had defensive problems on the defensive side of the ball, and everything. We had problems on the offensive line. All of that stuff. And Penix, he didn't help. I mean, he didn't help either. He had bad moments. He had a lot of bad moments too. Not reading the defenses, staring down his receivers, not being on the center. Now that's coaching. That's not him. That's coaching. You telling me you can't get on the center because you can't bend your knees. Y'all, look, I'm not a Stephen A. Smith fan, but that was so funny. Y'all got to that was funny when he said that with Michael Penix. I'm sorry, that was funny. You can't telling me that you can't get on the center because you can't bend your knees. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. That was funny, y'all. I'm sorry. Abe, I'm trying to see Ab Higher Ready. I think that's how you say your name, man. I'm sorry. Appreciate you tuning in. He says, I'm fine with Strand before Tua because Tua is washed and has no upside anymore. Penix has more experience, and he wasn't all bad last year. No, he wasn't. And see the thing, so going back to what you said about Strand over Tua, I 100% agree. Tomorrow in the preseason, I would like to have seen, since you're not going to play Michael Penix, and I think that that's a mistake. I think that Penix should be playing tomorrow more than anybody. But since he's not playing, I think Jack Strand should get the bulk to get played the first half or the first quarter with the starters, so that it can quell, so that it can temper our expectations. Guys like me, who are Jack Strand, who think that Jack Strand is that guy, it can temper our expectations. Like, okay, look at what look at him playing against starting level talent. And if he goes out there and stinks it up in the quarter tomorrow, playing with the ones, then my expectations are gonna go like this. Okay, yeah, we need to develop him more. We need to kind of put him off to the side. Let him cook a little bit more. Put him in the oven. Let him cook a little bit more. Let him get done a little bit more before we throw him back out there. So I would definitely like to have seen him. I would definitely have liked to have seen Jack Strand take the bulk majority of the preseason the games tomorrow with the first team. Because I just think Tua is cooked, man. Tua is cooked. It's like they're trying to get it. They're trying to get, like when that toothpaste tube, when the tube is empty, and you forget to go, you didn't remember to go by the store and get some toothpaste, and you just have that little bit left in there, and you folding the little tube, and I mean you trying to you're trying to get every drop of that toothpaste out of there. I mean, if you're really from the hood, you cut the toothpaste tube open and you dig the toothpaste out with the with the toothbrush. I done did that a couple of times in my life right there. So I think that's what they just trying to get. They got the tube cut open and they just trying to dig anything they can get out of Tua. But Tua is cooked, man. He's unfortunately, man, he's cooked. DK says Jack is the only option for short yards. He has to make the 53. I feel you, DK. AB Ready says Penix was forced in shotgun because the gum chewing claimed he wasn't comfortable under center. Yeah, man. Yeah, again, the coaches didn't do Penix any favors. The coaching didn't do Penix any favor, man. So it's not all on Penix's back. But again, some of it is on his back too. Some of the blame is on Penix too. Penix missed a lot of throws. He was very inaccurate. Man. So, but yeah, the coaches didn't do him any favors. AB High already says the pass protection was terrible last year too. Yep, I agree. Delilah says Tua looks overweight to me, but I don't know his walk around weight. Yeah, Tua, he just don't look comfortable. Tua don't look. Who was that said it? I can't remember which one of you guys said it earlier in the chat about Tua just seems like he's happy to be here. That's what it seemed like just listening to him in the press conference. I really haven't listened to him. I try not to listen to a whole lot of press conferences because I know I'm not going to get nothing but a lie told to me. I'll stick my head in when Kevin Stefanski might have a press conference or something like that. But when the players do, I don't even really listen to it. But yeah, just from seeing him and his demeanor, it's just like it's like he don't care. Like he don't have like that hunger in him. It's like he's just like, man, look, temporarily, I got me a job. That's all I care. Hey, I'm on a roster temporarily, and that's all I care about. So yeah, I don't see any fire into him. Just don't see it. JQ says one thing I can say: special teams has looked light years better this preseason. Yeah, man. They look good. The special teams has looked good. The punter. I love the punt game. One thing that ticked me off is when you're sitting there you're punting the ball and the most yardage you're getting on a punt is 30-something yards. And there were a few times that happened to put us in some bad field positions, in some bad spots defensively last year. And so, again, special teams has looked good. Again, this team, what I didn't like in the only thing what I didn't like in that first game of the preseason, what we saw, I did not like how the first team, of course, the quarterback played. I didn't like the pass defense. I didn't like our coverage in the secondary. But going into that second game, even though the starters didn't play, I really did like the way that the special teams played in that first game as well as in that second game. The defense was better in that second game. Now, again, yes, it was against 2s and 3s, but they looked good. And so I think a lot of those guys are going to be on the roster too. A lot of those guys are going to be depth pieces that they're going to get some run. So it's good to see those 2s and 3s play well in that second preseason game. So yeah, the special teams cost us a lot last year. They cost us a lot last year. AB High Ready says, let's not forget Falcons fan wanted Penix to start, and we're saying he's ready after 2024 concluded. Yeah, my so this channel is new. I've only had this channel for I think like 2.5 months or so. But I remember back when we drafted Penix, I really didn't understand what we were doing. Of course, we had Kirk Cousins. I was one of the fans when Kirk Cousins started stinking up the joint. And then it came to find out that he lied and said that he was healthy, but he wasn't. But when he started to stink, I was one of the fans like, hey, we got this guy number 8 in the first, put him in the game. Put him in the game. Let's get this young man in the game. Let's see what we have in Penix. Put him in the game. Put him in the game. And Raheem Morris finally did it. And he went out there and he balled out in that first game against the Redskins. And I say the Reds. I'm sorry, y'all. I call them the Redskins. I don't call Washington the Commanders. I don't do it. I'm sorry. That's the Redskins to me. So he went out there against the Redskins and almost led the team to a victory. Looked fantastic. Looked fantastic. And then when we came around, and then when, that next game, he didn't look terrible, but he didn't look great. So I was like, okay, all right, one bad, okay, man. So, but after that, just started as the season progressed. That's when I kind of fell out of favor with Penix. I was a Penix guy. I wanted Penix to play. When I criticize Penix, I'm not criticizing Penix. I'm not criticizing Penix because of anything personal or anything like that. I'm going by what I saw him in that first year that he played and last year. No, not everything was his fault, but I didn't like him, of course, not being on the center. But I also didn't like how I didn't like his ability to read, because the most important thing a quarterback got to do is to read the defense, is to read the blitzes. Look off your safeties, look those guys off, go through all of your different reads. And I think that's where I was looking at Penderson like, man, that's actually something that's hard to teach, especially when you're already at a professional level where you should already know how to do that stuff. And so that's why I'm not high on Penix. That's why I'm not high on Michael Penix. Now, I wanted to see Penix play tomorrow. I want to see him play tomorrow because I want to see how far he has come, because it's going to be between him and Tua. The starting gig is going to be between him and Tua. So I wanted to see. I'm right here. I'm a Falcon fan. It don't matter who's back there. I'm gonna cheer for him, and I want them to perform. So that's kind of where I am on Penix, and why I say what I say in regards to Penix. I'm looking at the body of work. If I would have seen him, if he didn't get hurt and he was cleared for full 11 on 11, and if he played in the preseason so far and he balled out, I would be the first one on here, man. Hey, can't wait to see Penix in Pittsburgh. Get him in there. Get Penix in there. We need him in there. But I got to see him. I haven't seen the only thing I got in my mind from Penix is the game that he got hurt last year. That's the last thought in my mind. And I haven't seen any recent game tape of him improving. And that's what I would have hoped to have seen on tomorrow. So that's all. It's not this anti-Penix thing or pro Strand or anti-Tua or pro-Tua. Man, who's going to give us the – man, just get – who going – man, I don't care. Just win. I'm tired of losing, man. I'm just sick of losing. I'm sick of this team. I'm sick of not being in the playoffs. I just want us to win. That's all I want, man. I just want to win. A Higher Ready says the moment Strand has a bad game, they will turn on him. I'm not going to turn. See, me, I won't turn. See, I didn't turn on Penix. I just went by what my eyes saw. I gave Penix like three before I said that I've seen enough of Penix. It was probably like towards the end of that first season. I gave him that when he came in Washington all the way to the end of the season. I gave him all. He had some bad games. But when it came towards the end, when the season was over, I was like, man, I've seen enough of Penix, man. I was like, I've seen enough. And I didn't turn on him. I didn't talk bad about him. I wasn't on social media or anything going ham about him or nothing like that. But in my private circles, I was saying, look, man, Penix is not the dude. Penix is not a franchise quarterback. He's not your franchise quarterback. And I still believe that I still believe that right now. I still believe that Penix is not a franchise quarterback. I don't know if Jack Strand is a franchise quarterback. All I know is if this quarterback position suck, no matter who it is, if they suck, we're going to be drafting a quarterback next year anyways. Or doing some type of trade to bring in a free agent quarterback. More than likely, we'll probably be drafting one more than likely. So, again, don't even get too attached to Penix or Jack Strand or anybody on this roster right now, any other quarterbacks, because it's still a real possibility that this team drafts its future quarterback next year in the draft. So, it's kind of that's why I'm not attached to Jack Strand. I'm not this dude where I like him and I'm just going to, ignore what my eyes see when I see him suck. If he get in the regular season and he play and he suck, hey, you going to hear it first right here on my channel. You going to hear it first. My goodness, Jack Strand is terrible right now. 4 games he sucked, man. Jack Strand, get him out of there. Get him out of there, man. You going to hear it on the B. I can see the potential in you, but when you get out there and show me that you suck, I'm going to be like, yeah, I thought you had the potential, but, man, you suck. You stink, man. And that's just what it is. Ab High. Okay, man. Appreciate you. Okay, man. I just didn't know, man. The name, I got you, but I got you, boss, man. Appreciate you, brother, for clearing that up for me. Baby driver in the house says, are you going to stand on this tanking viewpoint if they get a hot week 5 and end 10-7 with Penix, or is that no, baby driver. No, baby driver. No, sir. No, sir. I'm not going to stand. I'm the tanking thing. I put that as the thumbnail. I put that as the thumbnail as a calling card. But I also saying, why is Penix not playing tomorrow? And I'm not, and I won't Penix because I know that Jack Strand is not going to. I know Jack Strand is not going to be the Falcon starter this year. I know that. I'm not crazy. So what I'm saying is that tanking came from, why is Michael Penix not playing tomorrow in the preseason? In my opinion, on the outside looking in, it looks bad. It really looks bad. And I'm not. Y'all can call me crazy, but I'm not the only one that said saying this. When it came to my mind, I was flipping through X, and just so happened like a Dan Orlowski and some ESPN commentator clips popped up, and those guys were saying the same thing that I was thinking before I saw those clips. They were having a discussion about Penix and him not playing tomorrow in the preseason, and those guys who have played the quarterback position before in the NFL were saying that's crazy. Like, why would you not play him? Why since you're not going to start Jack Strand, so why is Penix is the clear-cut number one out of Tua and Penix? I'm taking Penix all day every day, and twice on Sunday. And so why is he not playing? So that's why a lot of the rumors out there about the tanking. Again, the NFL has denied those rumors and said that they haven't sent anything to the Falcons about that. The Falcons have said they haven't received anything. So I get it. I understand it. But there are rumors out there. Because, again, I think the Falcons are trying to get I really think the Falcons are trying to get their quarterback next year. I think they're trying to draft their franchise quarterback next year. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, guys. Guys, when we talk on here, we just spitballing. These platforms, when like podcasters, YouTubers, guys that don't have inside information like me. I don't have inside. I just see what I get on here and rub my mouth about what my eyes can see. That's all I do. That's all I do. And a lot it's all and a lot of it is just opinionated. All of this stuff is our opinion. So whether I agree with you or you agree with me, all of this stuff is just opinion. We don't know. We all have our opinions. That's it, y'all. We just got our opinions. You have yours. Other podcasters have theirs. The teams, they have their opinions, and they have what they know on the inside, what they don't show us. But all of this is just opinion, guys. This is just me throwing my opinions and stuff out here about what I think about this team, what I think about the Falcons, what I think about the Hawks, and what I think about the Braves. And it's perfectly normal for you to say, for some to say, man, you are a maniac. You don't know what you're talking about. and that's your opinion. And it's perfectly normal for me to say you're a maniac and you don't know what you're talking about. And that's my opinion. But at the same time, we just fans. We want the team to win. That's all. That's all we want, man. At least that's all I want. It ain't on here about trying to create enemies with you guys. Most of you who are on these live streams, you guys are fans to other teams. So we got different in opinions about the direction we need to take to get to our destination. But at the same time, we trying to still get to the same destination. Doggone it. So we all family. It ain't. I'm not on here trying to create enemies with my fellow Falcon fans or my fellow Braves fans or my fellow Hawks fans. That's not what I'm on here trying to do. I'm on here just giving my opinion on what I think. And you can choose whether or not you like it or not. And, we can still love the team. We can still, when we see each other at the games, y'all come check me out. I'll be at a couple of games, man. Y'all see me, holler at me. I'll give you a hug. I'll hug you. Even if you don't agree, I'll hug you and stuff and shake hands with you. Hey, we family, man. It's all love. It's all love, man. I love all of you. So that's all. Abi says, for the record, Strand could be a franchise QB maybe, but he has a long way to go to prove that he has some upside, but we have to be careful saying he should start over Penix. Speaking for myself, speaking for me, I say that he start over. The reason why I would start if it was up to me, why I would start him over Penix, it's simply because of what we were told. We were told that the starting job when Matt Ryan was hired, when they hired Kevin Stefanski, and then you hired Ian Cunningham, nobody committed to Michael Penix. No, none of those guys committed to Michael Penix. They went on to bring in Jack Strand, to bring in who's the dude? I forgot the dude already who they had before they signed Cooper Rush. But him, then he got hurt, then they brought Cooper Rush in, then of course you brought Tua in. And you said that this thing, hey, it's gonna be a evaluation period. AKA, when they say evaluation period, that means a competition. That means they were saying, hey, it's a competition for who wins. It's going to be evaluations from the offseason, OTAs, training camp, preseason. It's going to be on a evaluation basis. Who gets the quarterback job, a.k.a. it's going to be a quarterback competition. And that's who's going to get the job. That's what they said. So if we look at we haven't seen Michael Penix in live game action in the preseason this year. We've seen him doing drills, throwing to receivers in training camp, but he wasn't doing 11 on 11. And so we saw what Tua did. We see how bad Tua has looked. What we're saying, even though Jack Strand has played with 2s and 3s, we see, based on the overall the work off the overall production that we've seen from all of the quarterbacks, nobody can deny that Jack Strand, although he's made some mistakes too, he hasn't been perfect in training camp. He threw some interceptions too. I think he had a couple of fumbles. But at the same time, if you compare the body of work of all the quarterbacks that have been active in training camp and in the preseason, he's won the job. He's looked the best. And again, whether or not he looks good, if he starts, if he's QB1, who knows? We don't know. By the way, your number one quarterback can look good with the ones and then get in the regular season and stink it up. So we don't know what Jack Strand would do. We might be high on him because of what he's done in preseason or in the training camp, but we don't know for sure that he would be that he's gonna be like a franchise type quarterback. Nobody knows. Nobody knows that with any quarterback that's playing for the first time. Nobody knew that with Patrick Mahomes. Nobody knew that with Tom Brady. Nobody knew that with Dan Marino. Nobody knew that with Dante Culpepper. Nobody knew that with Steve McNair. Nobody knew that with Joe Namath. Nobody knew that with Steve Young. Nobody knew that with Peyton Manning until they actually got out there. And that's when you found out what they really were. Some started off good. Some started out terrible and got better as their career went on. So if you put Jack Strand number one, who knows? He might start terrible and then get better as the year goes on or as years go on, whether he's on the Falcons or not. Or he can catch fire and lead you to an NFC division title, lead you to a playoff win in his first year, 2 playoffs win in your first year, and put you in the Super Bowl in his first year. Crazy stuff can happen. So I think people on both sides of this argument, of this quarterback argument with Strand and Penix, we all got to kind of take a step back some and realize that nothing is set in stone. Nothing guarantees success if one of these guys play, just like any other team. Nothing, no matter who the court, it's not guaranteed. You got some people guaranteeing that we gonna be better if Penix plays. I'm not gonna do that. You got a lot of people guaranteeing that the team is gonna somehow go like 17-0 if Jack Strand play. You don't hear that from me. You're not gonna hear that from not on this channel. You ain't gonna hear Walter say that. You hear Walter say Jack Strand should start because he's played the best in the competition. But you ain't gonna hear Walter say that this team is gonna be great because of Jack Strand this season. And you won't hear me say it about Penix either. And you won't hear me say it about Tua. We got to see you get out there and do the work. We got to see you get out there and put up results. And that's when I'm going to start really believing. Show me. Show me. That's what I want. I want you to show me. It says, I'm tired of watch veteran quarterbacks. Man, I agree, man. I agree with you, brother. I 100% agree with you, fam. Baby Driver says, I also say that because the team morale is up with Penix. You can see it from how they talk about him. Yeah, man. I get it, man. I know that Penix is going. I think Penix is going to be the starter. I don't think he's going to start week 1. Again, I think they don't want to bring him in with him being just cleared. I don't think they're going to bring him in to face that Steelers defense, to have to put up with TJ Watt in the first game of the season, and he's already going to have a abbreviated time to get ready playing 11 on 11. So I think Penix is going to still be the start, even if Tua starts game 1 against Pittsburgh. I think that Penix is going to probably start for the second game back in Atlanta against Carolina. I think he's gonna probably start that game in the rest of the season. So I want Penix. I want Penix to shine because I can hear I know the guys like him. Heck, I like Penix, and I don't even know him personally, but you hear him talk, man. He just so cool. Dude is just so cool, man. He's a cool man. It's very rare that you find guys that's at that type of level and you can just see how humble they are. And that's what you get with he's a humble young man. You don't see young people humble like that. I know I look young, but I ain't young, y'all. I'm right there, I'm 40. But I really to a 20-some-year-old young man, well spoken like Penix and all of that. I like Penix. I like him. It's hard to root against him. It's hard for me when I say that I don't think he's a franchise quarterback and I don't like his game. But I'm looking at what I have seen with him. But I'm also giving him a little bit of a break because of what he had to deal with coaching and special teams and the offensive line and things of that nature. But yeah, he's a likable dude, and the guys on the team love him. They love him. So hopefully, with the morale being around him, I hope it works out, man, because I want to win. Forget all that other stuff, man. I want to win. AB says Marcus Mariota, Cousins, and Tua. We need a quarterback with upside, not just someone who can dump the ball off and do short passes. Our team isn't good enough for that. Isn't the same. And Raheem isn't Andy Reid, and neither is Zach Robinson. No, I'm not saying I'm not saying that I'm just looking at, I'm talking about the only way you just gotta put guys out there at some point. At some point, you just gotta put them, you can't keep them like in a cocoon. You gotta put them out. If you really want to see what they can do, you got to put them, just like whatever you do on your job. You had a time where you was training. You might have been working alongside somebody that was getting you up to speed with how everything works and everything. But after a certain period of time, it was time to cut that umbilical cord, and you had to stand on your own 2 feet. You had to get in there and do it yourself. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying with like Jack Strand. That's why I said you don't know what he can do unless you put him out there. You don't know. He could go, if you, let's say you let him play the whole season, all 17 games. He could go 0-17. He can literally go out there and lead the team to a 0-17 record. Or he can go out there and lead the team to a 17-0 record. He can go out there and lead the team to a 5-12 record. Or he can go out there and lead the team to a 12-5 record. So that's what I'm saying. You never know how these things are gonna work out until you actually put somebody in those situations. That's all I'm saying. Michael says, I would be happy too if I was being paid a couple of millions to drop the snap. Well, I feel you, Michael. Me too, man. Me too. I wish somebody come right now and give me a couple of $1 million to just drop snaps and stuff and not have to get in no truck and drive. Man, I love it. AB says Penix does need to work on the touch throws and go through his progressions faster. I think it's worth trying again in year 2, but if he gets hurt, we need to talk about the future of quarterback. I agree. AB, I agree 100% with that, brother. I agree. DK says, even if Penix takes us to the playoffs, I still couldn't give him more than a 2-year deal. He has been injured last 3 out of 5 years. I agree. I agree with that, DK. I don't think you can give him more. If he goes out there and balls out this year, I'm going to be the first one to tell you, hey, keep him. But I wouldn't give him more. 2 years, that's about right. That's about right. 2 years is probably the most I would give him. I wouldn't give him more than 2 years. But I think if he goes out and leads you to playoff, wins the division, gives you a win or 2 in the playoffs, yeah, I think you got to re-sign him. But you can't let that cloud your judgment. You can't see that and say, oh, we about to dump 4 years on this dude. We're finna dump a 4-year deal on his head. Nah, I wouldn't do that. I agree with you, DK. I'd do a 2-year deal. AB says, I'm just saying we should look at the Ohio State quarterback, pun intended. If Penix isn't healthy and Strand isn't it? It's gonna be interesting. Hey, AB, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be interesting to see how they do this quarterback thing, brother. It's gonna be very interesting to see how the Falcons handle this whole this whole year with the quarterback position. Because let's say if we barely make it to the playoffs. Let's say if we don't get the division, but we end up catching, like, barely getting the wild card spot, getting in via the wild card. And, we're a first round exit in the playoffs. Well, we made it to the playoffs, and let's use Penix being there as the quarterback, which I'm assuming that's who's going to be the quarterback. It's still going to be very interesting to see if this team jumps in that draft next year for a quarterback. It's going to be very interesting, man, because you're going to have fans. You're going to have fans like me who are going to say, okay, if you what about Strand? And then you're going to have guys that's going to be on the Penix side of things that's going to be like, well, he got us to he got us a wild card, and we got in the playoff. We lost the first round of the playoffs, but he got us there, so you got to bring him back. So you're going to have another split next year, not just within the fan base, but probably within the organization too. You're going to have some in the organization that's going to want to draft the quarterback, And then you're going to have some that's going to want to keep rolling with Penix and Strand. So it's going to be interesting how they handle it. And that's why I said you give rumors legs when you oblige and you make it like you do the things that seems to make the rumors true. That's why I've said tanking. Because, they may be looking to draft a quarterback, but I think in the best interest of the team, Penix should be playing tomorrow in the preseason, the last preseason game. And that's what a lot of the guys, not just me, that's what they were saying. A lot of the guys on TV saying that on ESPN, Fox Sports, they said, what's going on? Why is Michael Penix not playing tomorrow? I was so upset when I heard that he was not playing on tomorrow. I was so, because I'm as much as I'm not as high on Michael Penix, I was excited. I was excited when he got cleared, and I was excited when I knew that, okay, I know that I'm not going to get the guy that I want. But let's give Michael Penix, let's see where he has improved. Let's see if he can give us something different than what he has under a new coach, a new offensive coordinator, a new system, a better offensive line, hopefully, and with all the weapons that we have now on offense that's healthy. So I was ready to see what he had on tomorrow, but I just think it was a terrible look. It's a terrible look not playing him on tomorrow. It's a baffling look. It's a scratch your head type of look. Like, what are y'all really trying to do? So again, we don't know. We don't know, but let's just hope whoever we got in there, man, let's hope these dudes can give us some wins. Christy, is that Christy Lewis? Christy Lewis, this is the first time I've seen you in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Christy. Christy, I appreciate you. Says, I wish we would fix the old line before scouting a new quarterback. That is going to be the thing we have been needing to fix for a long time. I agree 100%, Christy. I agree 100%. I did not. Now, we didn't have the whole offensive line, the starters playing in that first preseason game, but I did not like what I saw from from the few guys that were playing in that first preseason game, the starters on the offensive line. I did not like what I saw. I did not like what I saw. So hopefully, with Jawan Taylor coming back, hopefully we can solidify that right side. Hopefully we are a little bit better tomorrow in our pass protection as well. And we're going to have to do better in blocking, in our running game too, as far as the offensive line goes. Now we got some elusive guys like Bijan and Brian Robinson. And heck, even if you want to throw Goodson in there or Cash Jones, I think I got to give Goodson the nod over Cash Jones. But man, we got a dynamic backfield. We got a dynamic backfield, man. And so, I agree with you, Chris. But we definitely got to make sure that offensive line is much better, because I'm not enthused. I'm not ecstatic about what I saw in that first preseason game. T. Terry in the building. T. Terry, what's going on, fam? T. Terry says Jack Strand already has that touch with the rock. He looks like a natural quarterback. Yeah, man, he does. He does. He look good, man. He look natural. He looked natural, man. He just looked like a natural dude. Christy says new subscriber, and appreciate you, Christy. Thank you for your support, man. I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in and checking out the channel. Welcome to the Uncut Atlanta family. Welcome to the family. T. Terry says on mute. I'm on mute. Let me see. Oh, okay. I'm not on mute now. I'm sorry. I might have hit the mute button by accident. I'm sorry. Chrissy says we needed to see something tomorrow. He didn't have to stay in the game, but if tomorrow's game is on that ratchet Dolphins field, I understand someone always gets hurt there. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't think about that, Christy. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that about the field. Maybe that's something that they're looking at too, because that is true about that field in Miami. Just look what happened to Tyreek Hill. So, yeah, I agree. I think, did Tyreek Hill get hurt in Miami? I think he had that gruesome leg injury in Miami. I think that was in Miami. So, yeah, I did not think about that. But good point. JQ says, I agree about that field. Probably not worth the risk for a preseason game. Yeah, that was actually a good point Christy made. I'm glad she brought that up. That's something I did not think about. I did not think about that. So I might just have to take back. I might have to take back. Do I need to take back everything? Because again, you don't want them legs, man. That dude, he got mashed potatoes and rice and string beans in his knees. So I don't think you want to bring him back in Miami in the preseason game on that turf, because a lot of bad leg injuries, lower body injuries have happened on that field. So, man, I might have to take back everything I said. Man. But that don't take away the fact, though, I still wanted to see him. I still wanted to see something from Penix. I really did, man, because I was excited about actually seeing if he made some improvements from the last time we saw him. Christian says people should respect your platform. I like to hear a variety of perspectives. Yeah, man, I don't mind the disagreements. I don't mind. But I just think that it's when you call people, when you start like kind of saying that people are not an actual fan and don't want what's best for the team because their opinion is different than yours, that's where I have a problem with some people. It's not that you disagree with me, and it's not that I disagree with you. We both want what's best for the team, but we got a different direction. We just got like a different path that we want to take to get to the same direction, the same destination, and that's a Super Bowl. Some people want to drive east to get there. And that's okay. Some people want to go just head north and ride it out. Some people want to curve around to the west and but it don't take away the fact that we still want the same thing. We still just want the team to win. So guys, I'm gonna get ready to end this thing here. We've been going at 2 hours. I gotta go and deliver all of y'all's. I gotta go keep America running in my 18-wheeler. Some of y'all already off of work and I'm jealous. Y'all about to go and get, take showers and get all comfortable at home and all of that and watch more podcasts on YouTube and all of that stuff and be all comfortable. I'm about to be out here on this road. Googly moogly, man. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I really do. All of y'all, everybody that has tuned in today, God bless you, man. This channel wouldn't be this channel without you. We're growing. We're still a small channel, still a new channel, but I really do appreciate everybody who take the time out of their schedule when they can be doing anything else, when they can be watching anything else. You take the time to visit little old me and to show me love on this channel, whether it's to call me crazy or not. But I really do truly appreciate it. Do me a favor, on the way out, please hit that like button. We want a variety of people in here. We want everybody's opinion in here. So we want the videos and the live stream to get out to more people. So be sure to hit that like button so that it can get out to a larger following of Atlanta fans, and we can really, really get our teams over the hump, man. Get them to the Super Bowl, get them to the World Series, get them to the NBA Finals, all of that stuff. So God bless y'all. I'll see y'all on tomorrow night. We will be live tomorrow night, right after, probably, I don't know. I don't know. Probably like 10 something. It's going to be a late one. It's going to be a late one. But if you want a honest review of what we see in that game, if you want a unbiased view of what we see in that game, hey, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss when we go live tomorrow night. God bless y'all.